All right, I think we're live. David, over you.
We're live from Thailand, Bangkok. That's right. We have taken the HealthEagle Show down here to Bangkok, Thailand from Chiang Mai, where we've been shooting since the summertime.
Live.
So here we are.
Okay, over you.
Pardon me?
Oh, just continue.
Can you hear me, Mila?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, fantastic. So we're going to take it a little bit off script a little bit today because we're going to share a little bit about Thailand and also some other news in the health world today. So again, here we are in Bangkok, and what you see behind me is the view from my balcony. You can get a little bit of the shots here. We are in the Grand Mercure here in downtown, and we are in a very busy section. This is similar to where I stayed and did my COVID quarantine when I first came into Thailand last May. And it's been a year since coming to Thailand. Here it is April, and I got here in May, and I did 16 days of quarantine before I was allowed to go up to Chiang Mai to join my other engineering compadre. And so here we are. It's like a celebration of anniversary. And talking about anniversary, my beautiful wife and I will be celebrating our first anniversary this month, later on the 28th, and that'll be great. So we wanted to go in. We've been talking about immunity and immunity in all kinds of different ways. We started out with the lymphatic system in this subject matter. We talked about the lymphatic system and the breakdown. We talked about lymph. We talked about lymph nodes, right? What they do. We talked about basics of immunology in terms of the different types of cells, the different types of activities of the cells, and so forth last week. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the practical side of staying healthy. And I wanted to take a moment here and talk about the Dr. Oz's book, Yin Yang Yu. And if you haven't read it yet, you pull it down off the USANA website, get it ordered, take it off of Amazon, whatever. Introduce you to the subject of traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM. Now, traditional Chinese medicine goes back into ancient times for 5,000 years of history of healing, and it takes a different approach towards healing. And one of that aspects is that it looks at the whole self. Instead of targeting a particular symptom and treating that particular symptom like you would in Western medicine, traditional medicine treats the body as a system of balance between your yin and your yang. And looking at that, there's a lot of great wisdom in it. And between the two, Western medicine, Eastern medicine, you can find a way to staying healthy. And so if you can think about this from the standpoint of maybe you should look at traditional Chinese medicine for chronic disease management, or staying healthy, staying away from chronic disease, right? And then you looking at surgeries, where you have broken bones, that sort of thing, to get to immediate healing. But the concept is that you can take both of these and work with them simultaneously. And one of the things that's important in traditional Chinese medicine, and should be important to you, and because you're here on HealthEagle, I know this is important to you, is that you are a partner in your health and medical treatments, not a passive recipient of care and prescriptions. That's right. You're looking for something other than somebody else being responsible for your health, because you know as well as I do that the only person who can keep you healthy is you, and it's your choices and your lifestyle and your nutritional consumption that helps you stay healthy. You have to make these choices. So the first thing you have to do is you have to take responsibility for your own health. Now, that's pretty tough when you look at it, and you know so many people out there who have taken no responsibility for their health. They expect, I'm just going to live and then I'm going to die and somebody's going to take care of me. And it's in the process. And that's the wrong way to go if you want to live a long, healthy, and fulfilling life. And isn't that what we really want to do? We want to get to the point where we can live a very long and enjoyable life. Too many people, as Dr. Wentz said, too many people die too long and live too short. They don't have an opportunity to really enjoy their lives because they're so focused on trying to cure an illness. And they picked up that illness because of the fact that they had poor lifestyle choices early on in their existence. So they didn't exercise, they didn't eat well, they didn't pay attention to their stress levels, and for one reason or another, they got obese or in some way picked up another chronic disease, and there they have it. Then when you're ill, all you can think about is being ill and getting better. But when you're healthy, you can think about anything and you can do anything and you can go anywhere. And that's kind of cool because, here I am, 65 years old, and I'm working and enjoying it, okay? Because I can do anything I want to do, all right? And I can have fun doing it. I don't have to worry about, I got to please this person or I have to please that person in order to stay employed. No, I can enjoy the heck out of what I do. And you know what? I've been doing that. I've had a really good week, pushing my engineering against other people's engineering and coming out on top. It's like, as I was explaining, my kung fu is better than their kung fu. And when we're talking about engineering kung fu, that really makes a difference because the reputation grows. Nevertheless, it allows me also to take care of passions, right? Things I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about my relationships. So I enjoy my relationships with my wife. And I enjoy them by traveling and being with her and doing things together, hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, walking through life. And then I get to travel and I get to go anywhere I want to because I can work wherever I want to. Now, time ago, I couldn't do that. When I retired from the military in 2004, yeah, it's been that long ago, okay? 18 years, I've been retired now, okay? I retired to 26 years of serving as a military officer. And I was beat up. I was done. I was dead. I couldn't go anywhere. I had to be restricted to living in the United States because the military couldn't take care of me overseas. I had lost the ability to be assigned overseas because of my physical ailments. It was terrible. And then, I got into the VA system, God love them. But I did whatever retired military officers do, especially senior officers, is that you take on more stress, take on more responsibility. I did the CEO thing twice. I built my own companies, stress. And by the time 2016 would run around, my cardiologist said, Dave, forks before knives, Dave, forks before knives. And then he was telling me was that you better start eating better and taking better care of yourself, or I'm going to have to cut on you. And I just had a heart incident. I tell you, things were not looking good. I was having to go to the doctor every week to have my blood checked so that I could be issued my pain pills. sleep apnea, blood pressure, cholesterol, all of those chronic issues that just build up and build up. By 2016 in January, when I had my heart incident, I was on 11 different prescribed medications. And they were not doing me good because this one was doing this thing and this one was doing that thing and this one was doing this thing, just pushing me around. And I had to go to get deep tissue massage every week so that I could just be vertical. I was falling down. My nerves were not working well. I'd had fibromyalgia and myofascial pain syndrome, and I had 30 odd shots in the back with cortisone just to keep my spine from killing me. And it was just absolutely a horrible lifestyle. And then I started saying, okay, my doctor told me, well, you better start eating better or I'm going to have to cut on you. It's just, okay. So I started taking supplements, and I knew that in that supplements is that what the body needed, but I didn't know what in combination and so forth. So I was just trying to go to the stores and going online and picking up stuff. I need this and I need this and I need this and I need this. So every Sunday I was there filling up my bottles with all of these pills and taking them and hoping I was going to get better. And, quite frankly, at the time I was 230 pounds. We're talking about a guy who was looking like this, or, a little bit, big old tummy here and so forth. Very much like my dad when he died. My dad's first heart attack occurred when he was 56. He died when he was 63. It's horrible, to experience, going through that. And I says, no, I'm not going to be my dad. I'm just not going to be my dad. Anger issues, bipolar issues, all kinds of things, all run in me as they did in my dad. And so I was doing the vitamin thing. And like I says, I was hoping I was doing the right thing, but I didn't know exactly. And I wasn't feeling any better. I wasn't getting any better. I wasn't getting any thinner. And then I met my wonderful wife at the time, and she introduced me to USANA Health Sciences products, particularly the Health Pack, and then all of the optimizers after that, the shakes and so forth. And I started taking the Health Pack. 3 weeks, I didn't need my Prilosec anymore. I'd been on Prilosec 21 years, and I didn't need it anymore. No more acid reflux. Can you imagine that? I mean, all of that pain and suffering and, from the acid. And I'm thinking that Prilosec was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And, and then I didn't need it because I didn't have the acid reflux anymore. Boy, I was pleased. And then I'm working out at Wake Island, and I tear my bicipital tendon off of my forearm. When I got back up to Elmendorf and they did the X-ray, the orthopedic surgeon goes, let's go back and get an MRI. And when the doctor goes, let's get an MRI, things aren't too good, right? So what had happened is that I tore the bicipital tendon off of the front arm, right about here, right? And when it tore, it took a piece of bone with it, so I had a fracture at the same time. And so it took me 3 days to get from Wake Island up to the medical center at Elmendorf, at the military medical center there. And they says, well, we're going to have to do surgery. We're going to have to go from here to here, and we're going to have to transpose the muscles and everything, and then we're going to have to drill a hole through the forearm, and then we're going to have to take that bone off, and then we'll push your tendon back through, and then we'll put a button on it, and then we'll sew you all back up, hope everything works out good. I say, yeah, okay, I'm 56 years old at the time, and I'm not playing baseball, I'm not a golfer, and when I cast, it's with the right arm, reel with the left. cast with the right. Okay, I love to fish. But the idea was, okay, doc, what if I don't have it done? And I'd already seen, what was going on with me, with the USANA Health, and my wife's going, don't do it, don't cut it. And you're talking to a person who spent lots of time inside the medical community. That is, some of the projects I worked for were clinical outcomes improvement, next generation hospital, the quality improvements program for hospitals, Baldrige criteria, trying to improve medical care, ran home telemedicine and did meaningful use. Meaningful use is taking medical records and turning them into something meaningful, right? So have electronic medical records. So I've been inside. I know a little bit about what goes on. And all I know is that the fastest way to demise is to go into the hospital. Okay? Not that the care isn't good, but oftentimes the surgery was successful, but the patient died. And I just had another example of that in my family. That being said, I says, no, I think not. I'll live with the injury because at worst, the tendon would atrophy and I'd lose muscle strength in the left arm. And the doctor suggested that I might lose up to 40% or 50% of it. So I said no, and with that, I kept taking my USANA products, and in a month, I was pain free. In another month, I was moving freely, and then in 8 months of being on USANA, I took my whole household, packed it up, right, and in 28 truckloads, self-moved myself from my Eagle River house, which is a condo in it, to my mountain house. And just short on that is that I moved out of the mountain house when I got divorced, thinking I was going to have to sell the mountain house, and I moved into my condo as a cost of living issue. And then anyway, I got the condo and she got all the savings. I got all the mortgages. Okay, so I got the house back, and since I still own the big mountain house, I decided to move back into it. So I moved back from the condo up into the mountain house. Anyway, leading up to is that I packed it, I picked it up, I put it in the truck. When I got to the mountain house, I took it out of the truck, I picked it up, hauled it up 2 flights of stairs because I lived on a mountain and you had to go up the stairs, right? And then put it in the house and put it away. And I did that over a course of a month and a half of doing that every night, and got my household moved. What I'm telling you is that I didn't lose any muscle strength or flexibility or anything. And when I went back to have it x-rayed again, guess what? My tendon had reattached. Now, I'm not saying that happens to everyone, but I know that USANA Health Sciences is a cellular nutritional company, and that the health pack is designed for cellular renewal, right? So when we talk about the ability to heal and repair, the nutrition that you take and the quality of the nutrition that you take is very, very important. And quite frankly, that's not the only transition that happened to me. When I started in taking USANA in May of 2016, I was 230 pounds. By November of 2016, okay, June, July, August, September, October, November, 6 months, okay, I was 180 pounds. Do you think that you feel better at 180 pounds than you do at 230 pounds, and you didn't change your frame. This body frame is only 5'6". Okay. All of that weight came off. All that pressure on my knees and joints and my skeletal structure came off. I felt great. Did I need those weekly deep tissue massages anymore? No, I didn't need those anymore. Did I need all of the blood testing and medications? No, I come off of all 11 medications. All 11 medications. Didn't need help with sleep, didn't have waking up, didn't have muscle pains, didn't have the fibromyalgia or the myofascial pain. I didn't have the back pain, okay, the degenerative disc issues that I'd had. Okay, I did no longer suffer from them. All right, now I just met all the sensor requirements, okay? So in this business, I can't say that it does anything about curing, okay? But I didn't suffer from those ailments anymore. And I will tell you that since November of 2016, when I realized how good I felt, I realized nobody was ever going to take my USANA away from me. Ever, 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 ever. And that's when I made the decision to become an associate, because I'd been a preferred customer. And I made the decision to become an associate of the USANA Corporation and go from there. I mean, you may have heard my eyesight stories, or you may have heard other stories. You see this, okay? This is 65 years, okay? And I really like growing my hair long. You know, it may be a throwback to the 1970s when I was going through high school, but you know, I really do like growing my hair long. It feels good and it looks good, and that's an indication of health. And when you look at your fingernails, you can look at the cuticles, and you look at the little half moons on your fingernails. Do you have half moons on your fingernails? It's an indication of health. I mean, every single one of my fingernails has got a half moon, and it's a fairly decent one. When going through traditional Chinese medicine, they look at your tongue, they look at your nails, they look at your hair, just give indications of health, and every time really help me. I can get out and walk. I mean, if you follow me at all on WeChat, all right, I have a following on the walking, right? So you get out and it tracks your steps. It's a bad day for me to do less than 7,000. Normally I'm between 7,000 and 12,000, and on a really good day like today, we're going to be out walking and getting out. I may make 15 to 20,000, and if I'm really working hard at it, I can get up to 23,000 steps, and that's a pretty good day. That's a pretty good day. And, that's just me, and you can get this kind of benefit. And everybody's benefit from nutrition is individual. All right, your optimum is different than my optimum, but don't shoot for the minimum. Okay, don't shoot for the minimum. Shoot for the optimum. Shoot for what gets you the benefit that you're looking for. What is your health goal? What is it that you want to achieve? Me, I want to live a very long time. I'll tell you what, I have a very beautiful wife, and I couldn't be happier. The key component is that she says she wants to live to 100. Okay, you know what that means for me if I'm going to take care of her? I got to live to 112. Okay, I got to live to 112. You know what? And I'm working towards it, because I'm halfway there and I'm enjoying it. It's like being a kid again. So nutrition is a very, very important component of your of how you stay healthy, how you fight off immunity, how you achieve your goals. Now, and that's all about taking responsibility for your health. Okay. So the next thing is you need to be aware of your surroundings. You need to be aware of your lifestyle. You need to be aware of your health situation and where you want to go. So you need to have a focus and you need to think about it. It's not something that happens to you. It is something that you do. Okay. So in staying healthy, it's stuff that you do. Okay. It's also stuff that you avoid, but you actively avoid them. All right. It's not something that you let happen to you. So be thinking about that. You need to be aware. And then because you're here on Health Eagle, you're already doing this and you're gaining knowledge. But you're also gaining knowledge from other places. And one of the places that I want you to make sure that you pay attention to about gaining knowledge is the label on your nutritional supplements. Now, you know that on a USANA product, you can trust that what's on the label is in the bottle, okay? Nobody else can make that claim, all right? And nobody else has the majority owner, okay? Because USANA is a publicly traded company and you can go buy stock and become an owner too. Would be a really good idea because the stock keeps going up. But keep in mind that, Dr. Myron Wentz started USANA because his parents died of chronic diseases. And it hurt him terribly. And then when he realized that what was on the market was going to kill the viruses that his other company that he was running at the time, he was growing viruses for the medical community. And he goes, if I feed these best vitamins that are on the market today to my viruses and the cells that are in them, I'll be out of business. So he created USANA and as a cellular nutritional company to feed the cells, and that he designed his nutritional products to do exactly that. And there's been iteration after iteration and iteration. It's one of the great things I love about USANA is the R&D. Man, I love the fact that USANA does its own research and development, and it productizes that research and development anytime the research proves that a benefit can be made. So there's been 4 generations of the health pack, right? And each product gets improved every year in a way, and sometimes they don't ever even announce it. They just make the improvement in the product because there's been a change in the knowledge of nutrition or the knowledge of the body. And I'll tell you, there's so much we don't know about the human body and how it interacts and acts together and so forth. I mean, it's still way artsy rather than sciencey, right? Every day. And we've just had another revelation in healthcare about Alzheimer's, and I'll try to get to that later in the program. But I wanted to make sure that you're gaining knowledge, you're reading, you're studying, you're listening, you're picking up on things, okay? Because the technology of the human body is amazing. God developed incredible, and we're just scraping at the surface to our understanding of it. As much as Western medicine has, talk about breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough, we're only scratching the surface, and we learned a lot about that when we're talking about hormones. So here we are in this, and I go back to that. We want to be involved in our own healthcare. We need to be in being a partner with all the providers, okay, whether in there, and not just take what they have to say to us as gospel. Do your own research, be involved, ask questions, get answers, cause them to think, okay? Don't sit back and wonder, cause them to think, because you've done your research and now you've got questions that need answers, and they need to provide it. And if they don't give you the well, we just don't know, then you're not getting the right answer. Okay? Because you're not getting the whole answer. You need to get, well, 90% of the time it's like this, and 10% of the time it's like that. And there are choices that have to be made. Now you have information that will make it possible for you to choose the course of action that is right for you. All right. So now, and I say choose, and then you say, okay, well, you've now chosen the right path. Now you got to take action. You can't just sit back and wait for something to happen. Some miracle pill will come around and make me whole. Well, that ain't going to happen. And you know what? God works in mysterious ways, and in ways you've got no idea about how he's working. Okay? You sit back and you pray, and God does answer every prayer, but not exactly the way you want them or think that you're going to get your prayer answered. Right? Oftentimes, God places people in your path, and you have a choice to listen, or you don't have a choice, or you don't listen, but you have a choice. There are tools and so forth that go along. There are people out there to help. There are people out there to give you advice, but you've got to choose, and that means taking action. And once you decide to take action, you've got to do it. Okay. So if you've made the decision that I've got to lose weight, all right, then you have to take the actions that are necessary to cause you to lose that weight. Now, not everybody loses weight the same way, and there's all kinds of challenges and so forth. Can't get into them all. And one solution doesn't solve everybody's problems, right? So you got to figure out what's best for you. You cannot just sit back and let it happen. And then, okay, once you've done that, then what is your other responsibility? Is you have to give feedback, okay, to all of the information that you've gathered, all of the benefit that you've seen, the things you have to give feedback so that there is a loop of learning, right? Information, knowledge, action, results, right? Information, knowledge, action, results, right? And it goes around. So you've got to be able to give this feedback. So once again, you need to take responsibility. You need to be aware of your circumstances, right? You need to gain the knowledge that's necessary. Now, a couple of things I like to say is that smart people learn from their mistakes. God loves smart people, but wise people learn from the mistakes of others. Now, save yourself the pain and anguish and learning curve. Learn from others. Okay, right? Be wise. And then you got to be involved. You have to be involved in your care. You can't be a passive recipient of prescriptions, right? Because keep in mind that prescriptions will do a lot of good, but they can do an awful lot of damage. Right? Okay. Good example is chemotherapy. You can have targeted chemotherapy, but guess what? When you're killing cells, you're killing cells. And a lot of times, a lot of chronic diseases are developed through the process of killing off cells or damaging cells that are cancerous. All right. So look at that. The other part about it is, the lesson is that the best way to stay healthy is prevention. The least expensive way to stay healthy is prevention. Do you realize if you take a really heavy course of nutritional supplements, it's a pretty expensive investment. But do you know it's less than 1 day in an emergency room? A whole year of great nutrition costs less than 1 day in an emergency room. present yourself in an emergency room, and then look at the bill. Okay. Now, great things about being healthy is that your insurance costs go down. Golly, gee whiz, you spent less money, no money out of pocket. I haven't spent any money out of pocket in a very long time. So, that's one more great thing is that it is less expensive to take care of yourself than it is to have somebody else take care of you. Right? So you take your action and then give your feedback. All right. So we've covered a lot of things, Mila. One of the things I promised that I would tell you about is that in current research, there were several studies now done, and it has to do with Alzheimer's and late Alzheimer's. And now, how many of you have been told that triglycerides are bad? I know I have. Oh, you gotta watch those triglycerides. If they get too high, you're gonna get heart problems, or you're gonna have strokes or something, right? Okay. You know, I go back and say, how many times have you heard that coffee's good, coffee's bad, coffee's good, coffee's bad, coffee's good, coffee's bad? You know, okay, because there's just everybody's different. Different studies do different things. They look at different parts of it. You got, and then you've got dosing. And we've talked about that before. But we're going back to the Alzheimer's, and they have found that triglycerides improve Alzheimer's patients' cognitive function. Not just holds it steady, but actually, if they're in decline, it will actually cause it to improve. Now, there's a whole lot more work that needs to be done before that's a prescribable approach. But as product users of USANA Sciences, Health Sciences Corporation, then you know that the quality of the products that you're taking are pharmaceutical quality in terms of the quality of the ingredients, the quality of the processing, the products doing exactly what to do, and that the labeling is exactly what's on the label is that what is in your brain is fat, and we need to feed it good fats. So you've got your CoQ10, you've got your Biomega there, Biomega, your fish oil. You know, taking care of your brain, because we need to be able to think clearly, and we need to be able to enjoy our lives and not become a burden on folks. And we need to try to stay away from the mental deterioration that takes place. And as my sister Thecla and I, have discovered, and she is quick to point out, is that if you're taking your Cobra Prime and your Vision X simultaneously, you're not just taking 1 + 1 and getting 2, because the benefits to your brain now multiply. You're actually getting 1 + 1 = 4, 1 + 1 = 6 by combining your nutritional attributes of Cobra Prime and Vision X in the care of your brain, and then you're feeding it with your Biomega and your CoQ10, and guess what? You're doing the right thing for yourself. All right. So keep that in mind, and be looking at that. So these benefits of as we look at things, we need to stay aware, stay up to date, stay engaged, share, and that's one of the things I encourage everyone to do, is to share and enjoy your lifestyles, enjoy your activity levels, enjoy your health, and don't give death a window of opportunity. Don't go the chronic disease way. Don't die too long. All right, everybody open up. Let's join the conversation. All right. Let's see if we can't get, there's Thecla, Mila, who else have we got? All right. So did it give you, something a little different, Thecla?
Well, I mean, other than I know your story. Yeah, it was a good presentation. Good to hear it all again.
All right.
So passion.
We're gonna wrap this up, Thecla. We're gonna do some videos. We'll take a tour through the headquarters for USANA here in Bangkok.
That'd be nice.
Then, of course, as always, we will be supporting Mila's talents and so forth to put together all kinds of beautiful videos and so forth as we go through. We will not be having class next week.
Right.
Okay. So I want you to have a wonderful Easter celebration.
Thank you.
All right. And we'll give you all of the best, and hope that your best wishes for this season of renewal is coming about, and then we'll be able to share with others. I'm kind of surprised we don't have more people attending today. But all of that said and done, we got it together. So did you pick up any knowledge you want to share today?
Did I pick up knowledge today?
Or this week, or since last meeting?
Not knowledge that's going to help anybody else. My knowledge was kind of on the sad note, and not to do with somebody's health, so kind of unrelated. But actually, maybe it may present on my own health down the road a bit, because I suffer from abandonment issues and lost another person, so it's getting a little tough in there.
Yeah.
Yep. But gotta make sure I keep taking my health pack.
Yeah, sure to take your health pack.
I have read, okay, this is something that'll help everybody. And when there's a death, and you're in relation to that, you have the loss. Your immune system takes a really big hit, and which leaves you open to all kinds of different illnesses.
Absolutely. That's and that goes back to your stress and
exactly.
the release of cortisol into your blood when you have these stresses associated with traumatic events, and you may not even think of them as traumatic events, so I mean,
yeah. Yep. Your mind may not think of them as traumatic, but your heart feels them as traumatic, so your body reacts to them as traumatic.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Number 4.
So are you referring to, you were talking about Joan, right?
Well, and Joan, I mean, I haven't had, personal relations with Aunt Joan in a long time. So for me, I mean, she would count as number 6. But for me, number 5, close relations, people, friends.
So you lost somebody else?
Since Christmas, I've lost 3 more people. Before Christmas, there was 2. So yeah, it's like I should start running a funeral service. Gotta keep laughing. Gotta keep laughing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I feel for you. I know that our friend Len John is had traumatic issues here recently, and then and some additional ones just within the week. So it's we need to understand that you need to boost that immune system, and especially when going through traumatic events.
Yep. And you might want to find yourself adding in a few extras. Even an extra dose of your health pack wouldn't hurt at all at this point with that much. Yeah, because you need nutrition not to fall into the pits. And I don't want to be in the pits.
Yeah.
That depression is not good.
Yeah. Well, I took your advice in regards to the extra antioxidant.
Good.
So we will see how that results in changes. But things are coming along good. Anyway, we'll stay in touch. See us on WeChat and Facebook, and and then we'll be back with Health Eagle in 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right.
Richard. All righty.
Mila, you got anything to add? Or you need to touch base with Jishung or Mom?
No, they're fine. So
Okay.
thank you, David, for sharing your story. Yeah, that was a very amazing story.
Obviously, it was too long to be an elevator pitch.